meeting on Naganwal people and Camry people. We pay respects to the elder past, present, and emerging. We acknowledge that the name Moroni was taken from the people of Wadi Wadi Nation without permission, and we are striving to do better for future reconciliation. Hello, namaste, and welcome back to DISHA in Australia. Today is a very special show as we are talking about internship opportunities in Australia as well as progressing onto career opportunities for international students. So, if you are an international student who's looking for an internship in Australia, this video is for you. So, this is coming from a person who has done 2 internships, is doing the second internship in my second year as an international student in Australia. So, yesterday has been pretty busy as I just came back from work and I was like so tired. But if you're looking for internships in Australia as an international student, these are top things that you should follow and what I have followed and have really worked out for me. First of all, coming to Australia and living in the Canberra, which is the capital city of Australia, it's a little bit harder to find internships and opportunities for international students because of APS and government sector and a lot of jobs only for citizens. But it is possible. First of all, it's really important to understand that you cannot find jobs or opportunities until and unless you are not looking for it. So stop believing in people and start believing in yourself. Know your worth, know what you're bringing to the table. What I've realized as in terms of my work experience is that it's not actually based on wherever you are from or whatever you do. It is based on your skills. So if you know what you're bringing to the table, you are sure about your skills, you know that okay, this is me, this is who I am, I know very well about myself, I know the things that I can help you with. These are my skills that I've learned through these many experiences, and this is how I'm going to transfer my skill into your role. It's it's like you're winning in that situation because you are easily and very efficiently depicting what exactly is the requirement for that role. And that is something that is really required in terms of when you're looking for opportunities, and this is what an employer is particularly looking for. So I would definitely recommend people who are looking for opportunities as an international student to know that whatever they are bringing to the table is worthwhile and people are there to listen to them. They're not there to like judge you or ask you about your role. They're there to help you. And that's what is really important. Other than that, the second thing, which is really important if you are looking for jobs as an international student, is that connections. So all my jobs are through connections and recommendations. So recommendations and connections are so important, and you should know how to take advantage of the disadvantage. So yes, Canberra is a small city, Canberra is a regional area, and not many opportunities for international students. But how can you take advantage of that? Think about what is the X factor that could actually work in my favor. So because Canberra is a small community, it's a small knit society, so everyone is connected with everyone. And but you have to remember your connections can lead you to interviews, but at that stage when you have to just um, tell the employer or convince them that you are the perfect fit for the role, that's your job. But your recommendations and your connections could lead you to an interview, because it's a very close knit community. You don't know who's the next person is standing to you and how they can help you with your role. You should be very open about what you are saying. You should be very open about whatever things that you're practicing, and it should be something that you are aware of. So when you're forming connections, just do not forget to market yourself really well. So whoever I talk to, whenever I am in any scenarios and I'm talking to people, I make sure that if I enter a room where no one knows me and no one even notices me, I'll make sure when I enter that room, when I exit that room, everyone knows about me, or at least know what I do. Or if not everyone, at least people who I specifically target for my particular role or for my particular sector, they know about me, because that's really important. Um, Another thing that's really, really important as an international student is that do not just go there and tell them that you are desperate for a job, because that's not going to work in your favor. If you um, I mean, as a student of psychology, we study human mind and behavior, and that's the most important thing that I think that's one of the best decisions I've taken is to study psychology, because it teaches you so much about human mind and behavior. So, if you are an international student is who is looking for a job, do not show that you are desperate, because it's a human nature that people do not want to help people who are desperate or just need the job so bad in their life they're ready to do anything for that. No, that's not how you're going to get your jobs or internships. The best way to approach to people is to tell that you're open for new opportunities, although you're having some opportunities in your hand already or some things that you're currently working on. Tell them about the cool projects that you're doing, even though if you're doing certain things that are just uni based, like in your society, if you are just in the exact positions in your society and you're working on cool projects, tell them that. Do not tell them that you're desperate for a job. No one is going to help you if you're going to be a desperate person, because it's just human nature, it's the psychology of human mind. um as a psychology student, I've seen it so much that when you're talking to employers, you're not just talking to a person, you're also working with their mind. So you have to make sure that both of you are on the same tunings on your mind, because that's really, really important, because that's how you actually know that, okay, this is how a person is thinking and this is the thought process I want them to think. And that's how you change the perception. You change the perception of yourself, and you change your perception as well. Sometimes you might not be super confident for the role. You might not know that, is this even something that I'm looking for? But it is something that you know at that point. You can change that. You can basically fake that. Like, fake it till you make it. I follow that. I swear by that, because um we are all just learning. It doesn't mean that, like, if you're in uni or getting role in some exact positions you get experience. No, there's like so much things that you can get into, and there would still be not enough experience for some people for the job that you're looking for. You should just know how to make that particular factor into a factor that works out in your favor. So even if you are like just doing some marketing roles, know how to advertise yourself. So maybe you have worked with a society and you have helped them reach like 2,000 people on their socials, which is not that difficult actually. And if you have created reels, if you can prove it, if you can show the result and stuff, that's how you are marketing yourself, through the marketing that you have done in your role as whatever in a particular society. Or even you can take the things from your school. Maybe you are a scholar, maybe you have received very good grades. That's something that you can advertise. That is something that you can definitely market well. Another thing to note as an international student is, do not just introduce yourself as a student. While in my internship, a lot of people, when they used to ask me what do I do, I did not just introduce myself as an intern. I also took into consideration other things that I'm doing, projects that I'm working on, positions that I'm currently at, and things that I've done in the past that could work out in my favor. If you are just looking at yourself as a student or as an intern, you are just directly portraying an image that this is what I am, this is my title, and this is what you are speaking to. No, for me, what I've learned is you are much, much, much more than the title. When a person starts speaking to you, they do not speak to you as the person dash who is associated with dash dash company. No, they're talking to you as a human. They're talking to you as a person who can help them, or who can um, at least form a good connection. So even if you're working or like interning or interviewing at positions that might not be related to your field in the longer term, you're still forming connections, and you never know how those connections could help you. So always be open to those connections. When I was pretty new in networking and business department, I didn't know how people actually like validate other people or make the conversation inclusive. But I'm a very reflective and learner and keen observer, and what I noticed in entrepreneurs or like people who are running businesses is that they make those little efforts, like just standing a step behind to make sure that the other person feels, oh, they're also a part of this conversation. And no one is small or big in any department. You, like, even if you're entering the room where there are so many people that are like, oh, you feel like they're, bigger in status than you, they are more efficient than you, or they have done some things in their life that, you know just makes you feel that, oh, this is something that I really want to do as well. Just know this fact that everyone is similar in the room and they all start from scratch. So always remember, none of the people who are in your field, like no entrepreneur would judge you for starting a business. None of the people who are at the top positions would judge you for trying. So failure is better than regrets. Do not be afraid to try out new things. Do not be afraid to just take your chance, because no one who is having a particular title that you're looking for will judge you for what you are doing. If someone is doing content creation and have reached so much, and you start by scratch with zero followers, they're not going to judge you. They're going to support you. If you are running a business, you're starting a mental health startup or any startup, and you see someone who is already in the business, who's an entrepreneur, who has made some money or has made some significant impact in the society, they're not going to judge you based on that. So we are all equal when you go to the sector. And it's also in you. It's also, the magic is in you when you know that, okay, this is the place where I'm entering, and I have to enter there with confidence and zeal, because I know what I'm bringing. I know my worth. I know that I'm not here to waste anyone's time or my time, and that's how you deal with that. Okay, so there's a question on the live chat which says how to deal with anxiety. So, to be honest, we all feel so much anxiety when we are starting out a new role, and it's not as fancy in corporate as it looks like, or any such like big jobs in office or stuff like that. Sometimes you face anxiety, sometimes you just start doubting yourself and you don't know how to like handle things, and you start losing a bit of yourself in that process because you're in a new environment. But it is really important to know that whatever you're doing is just an experience. Do not let it overpower you. Do not let it feel like, oh, this is just like killing me. No, do not take things seriously, because to be honest, I read somewhere that if you die someday, your company will replace you like within 3 4 days, so no one actually cares. Do not give so much energy to anything, or like just be aware of yourself, be aware of the things that you're doing, and you're doing it for an experience. You're not there to like give your life for the company or anything like that. Just be just enjoy the process, just enjoy the things that you're doing, because there are some things that are going to make a significant impact in your life, not the things that you are just doing for the sake of doing it. So be in the process and you would feel less anxious, and also like having trust and confidence in yourself that you're able to ace the things that you want to do, and you would be able to do that. Very that's something I swear by. So yeah. um Another thing that I want to discuss about in terms of finding opportunities, jobs, or anything related to international students, you should know that your time is very, very crucial, and so is other people's time. Time is the most expensive thing that you can buy, and you should you should know that your time holds a lot of value. You should know about your energy. Like for me, I know very well about my energy, and I know that what my time worth is. I know that I have to spend this amount of time with this amount of work. If there's a volunteer role I'm doing, I know this is the amount of time that I'm spending on that. This is the amount of things I'm gaining from that. Sometimes I do things because they are benefiting me. Sometimes I do things because they're not benefiting me but just are good for my mental health. So I make sure that wherever I am investing my time and energy, it is worth it. And remember, as I said, time is the most expensive thing you can buy. So people who are into like your sector, who have been doing things for a while, they know very well about the things that you're up to. Take their time. And to be honest, like no one would actually, like most people would not want to speak to you until and unless you also have something to offer, because the whole process works with give and take. So if you are taking someone's time, it should also be that you are providing something to them. So a lot of people that I've chatted with in interviews and stuff, and not even interviews, it's just a professional coffee catch up that people do nowadays, which is just for them to understand you on a very casual basis. It's not like a formal interview. And one of the chat that I was having, I really asked the person, like, why did you meet me, why did you want to spend your time with me, which is so valuable. And they said that because they saw my profile, they saw my LinkedIn profile or anything like that, and they just saw that if I could contribute to their company, and how can I contribute to their company. So it's really, really important to know that time is something very valuable that you're carrying along with you. And time is the most expensive currency when you're looking for any opportunities, be it jobs, be it volunteer roles, be it anything, because um, you can easily, like you can very easily monetize the time. And when you're giving out time for free, that means you're actually investing into something for a long term basis. So be very careful of wherever you are investing your time and energy. For me, I personally really felt that last year I was investing my time into a lot of things that weren't really helpful for me in my long term goals. And so I cut down on people that weren't really supportive or weren't really, good for my energy. Your energy is contagious, and it's a privilege for people to be a part of your energy. You have to understand that as a part of your worth. And so be very aware about the time and effort that you're spending on each and every person. Some people might just be as givers, and as a taker and as a giver, you should always know that people who are taking do not have limits. So you should put the limit where you have to stop giving. And that's the point where you know that when I am investing my time with you, I should either get a financial benefit or an emotional benefit, or at least something that is helping me have my serotonin or dopamine. Something. There should be something. It should not be like you're coming back with um, confusion and chaos, because that's, if that is happening, they're not the right people to invest your time and energy into. Okay, another very important tip for internships is, whenever you're meeting anyone, do not forget to tell them about you. You're not just there to listen whatever they're doing, or their cool projects, or how's the weather today. No, you are there to also see how you can grow professionally, how you can aid them, or how you can take help from them. And I've seen that so many times, because a lot of people might just be looking for something that you are also looking for, and you can mutually help each other, or you can or you can just like be hired by them. Because so in terms of the first internship that I got, I'll share how exactly that happened, and the recommendations and the connections, and how they work on that basis. So even though I said that connections and recommendations are important, but the interviews are equally important, because you might just not get selected in the interview, no matter how strong your recommendation or your connection is. It is also on you, it is also on the skills that you transfer, it is also on the things that you're doing for yourself, and how well you can advertise those skills. Okay. There's another question. I have heard Australia has reduced taking international students. Is it true? Yes, there is a cap on international students in Australian universities. And yes, that's true that Australia has reduced taking international students. Um, yeah, but there has been a lot of protest about it, but I'm not sure if they would change the rule. So sorry. But yeah, that's true. Okay. Any other questions, you can just leave it in the chat, or I'll still be sharing the tips for international students and things that we can do. But also in terms of, if there's a cap for international students in Australia, there would be more opportunities for other countries, because believe it or not, international students is the biggest economy generator of any country. Are you in Australia doing bachelor's? I'm doing bachelor's of psychology. Yes, I am in the Australian National University in Canberra, which is the capital city, doing bachelor's of psychology honors. So, yep, as I was saying, so biggest economy generator for any country is the international students, because we pay like 4x rates as compared to domestic students, and work and do all those things. So um, it is necessarily, I think there would be more opportunities in other countries as well as Australia through other ways, because I know there's a lot of scholarship programs, a lot of exchange programs, a lot of partnership programs with the commissions of two different countries who are doing things together. Like the India and Australia Commission holds specific programs, like MET3, like chancellor's scholarships that help in aiding the all the expenses of international students, and they could also cover a lot of costs. So you can definitely check out those fellowships, scholarships, and international student programs. There's also a few in the UK if you want to have a look. Okay. If there would be any questions, please drop it in the live chat and I would love to answer them. Okay. So, as I was saying about internships and job opportunities in terms of international students, one of the biggest tip that I want to give is take advantage of the disadvantage, and also do not be afraid to try on new things. So last year I was out of interest, I took accounting as a subject because I wanted to be financially literate, and I wanted to study a bit about like finance and accounting and business, and also because it has always been in my head that I want to run a business, and that's why I just want to be around innovation ecosystem and things like that. So this brings me to another point: know your goals. Like, what do you want to do? If you want to be an engineer, be around the IT sector. If you want to be an entrepreneur, be around the innovation ecosystem, be around businesses, be around people who are running businesses similar to what you want to do. So it's really important to do that. So I just did that subject, and then I was like, how can I monetize that subject now? Like, I have paid money for it, so I need to get that thing back in return. So everywhere I used to go, I used to like tell them that I have a very good information in knowledge about business administration and accounting, even though I'm a psychology student. And then I also studied environmental sustainability, I studied criminology, social work, sociology, everything. And I knew exactly how I can make connections with it. Now, even now, I've done an internship in like business and people who are running a business, but how can I advertise it in terms of psychology? Because my degree is psychology, right? I have learned social skills, social psychology there. I have seen organizational psychology. I have seen HR's work. I have seen how psychology is so fluid to be applied in different terms. And psychology is one of the biggest, I mean, the best decision that I've ever taken, because it is so fluid. I can apply it literally everywhere. It's gone in consulting, everywhere. Okay, there's a lot of questions in the live, so I'm gonna answer them now. Okay. Um, so what are you doing in Australia, bachelor's? As I said, what is the economic situation there? One of my friends said the inflation rate has gone high. That's why students are facing trouble in accommodation and other stuff. Yes, that's true. The inflation rate has gone a bit high, and a lot of people are struggling to get accommodations, um, because you need to show a specific rental history, which is sometimes not possible because you're very new to the country. How would you get the rental history? And same with the jobs, like you're new to the country, how would you get the experience? But that's where your connections and recommendations work. So your connections work in both housing in order to get cheap housing or accommodation, or in order to also get your first job. So my first job was also through reference. So I'm just like saying, please, please form good connections. Okay. But there are some sites that you can check out if you are looking for housing at a cheaper rate, which is your first of all your student accommodation by uni. I would say like first years just go there because they're the best place to start, and also you get so nice experience. So yeah. And the second thing you should know is Amber Student. It's based in India. I think their firm is in Pune or Mumbai, and they're like really popular as a student accommodation. But if I find something else, I'll make sure to post it in the community channel on my show, on my YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe. Okay, next question. What about FMGE students can they do internship? What are FMGE students? I'm not sure. So if you can just let me know what do you mean by FMGE, I will be able to answer that. Hi Disha, do you also provide guidance to students for PhD opportunities? Yes, definitely. There are so many things that you can do as a PhD candidate, and I would be more than happy to help you out with that. I am also attaching my email if there are any other questions that I could help with if I'm not able to answer them all in the live chat. Okay, so in terms of PhD opportunities, I would definitely say that apply for this one scholarship that I am also looking for, which covers your monthly cost, your tuition fee, your accommodation, and is also pays you. So very good opportunity if you're looking for that, and it gives you a month. I think a weekly eight. No, I think 600. No, I don't remember. It's like $400 a week that they pay you. That covers your accommodation and groceries, and also a lot of other things. So very good scholarship. I don't particularly remember the name, but I know a lot of people who are on that scholarship, and that also provides you opportunities to do research within your field. And if you're looking for universities, like good universities, they always provide research placements for PhD students, and you're usually the ones who will be tutoring bachelor's and master's students as well, which is a very good way to make income. So definitely recommend that. Then another question is, if we are applying for a PhD abroad, is it true that we need to have a good bank balance? Okay, there's a requirement for a good bank balance for all the fields that you're applying for. I remember when I was applying for as an Indian resident, so we have to like give so many documents like your parents financial history, your grandparents financial history, the properties that you own, the businesses that your parents run, the jobs, the ITRs. Oh my god, I don't even remember the amount of stuff they asked. And I was like, some of the stuff was even not relevant. Like they need your bills, they need your pay slips, and all of it is required when you're as a student from another country moving abroad. But I guess it's all a part of immigration and all those sorts of things. So yes, it is mandatory to have a bit of bank balance in order to get into top universities. But I know like um the universities that are not in group of 8 or level 1 universities, they do accept a little lower bank rate as well. Yeah. Any other questions? That's a really good question though. I have also kept my email. If there would be any other questions, I would be happy to answer them. And also my Instagram, because I keep posting about international student experience on my Instagram, and it is a great way for you to know about internship updates as well, and also the things that you can do as an international student studying abroad, and a lot of solo traveling, self-love, growth, positivity, and careers. I do it all on my Instagram, so follow the Shataneja 3184 underscore. All right. Okay, so moving back to the job opportunities and internships. So one thing that really annoys me is that we do not have okay, there's one more question and then I'll go back. In your university, can you tell me information about masters in business analytics, and do you use LinkedIn? Yes, I do use LinkedIn, so you can find me under my name, Disha Taneja. um, I would also put it in the chat Okay, so masters in business analytics, yes. Uh, there's a lot of scope about CBE here, which is the College of Business and Economics, and that's the school that provides this program, which is Masters in Business Analytics. Although I am a psychology student and I'm doing bachelor's, so I might not have that much information required for this course, but I'm pretty sure that our university runs this program because I have a couple of friends who are enrolled in this program. So I would also recommend looking at the opportunities that any uni that you're applying for. So whenever you are searching their program, you would have a whole list of people who might have graduated from that program. Like you can search that up online and you would find a list of people who have graduated from that program, and you can reach out to them, or you can just like see them on LinkedIn and see their career progress, how they have progressed in career and the things that they have done. And we and you would have a better idea about like the things that would be really beneficial for you. Okay, any other question that people might have, I would be super happy to answer them. Otherwise, you guys have my LinkedIn, Instagram, and my email. You can reach out to me and I'd be more than happy to help. I also provide an individual CV session, so just ask me questions and I would be happy to look over your CV and resume. Okay, coming back. Okay, there's another. Okay, perfect. I'll accept that later after the show. Thank you. Um, okay, perfect. Right. So coming back to last bits of advices before we wrap up this really informative session, I guess, for all of you. Okay, so in terms of finding jobs and internship opportunities for international students, you should know that we have a work limit. So we have a work cap, which is we cannot work more than 48 hours a fortnight. A fortnight is 15 days. A lot of job opportunities are for full time students, for people who can work full time, which are basically the citizens, which makes it super hard because there's so many less opportunities if you want to work part time or as a casual, but which is very valid because you are here for study purpose, not for work purpose. And but if you want to gain experience in your field, part-time work, casual opportunities, and internship opportunities are the best ways, because you can get onto full-time jobs as soon as you graduate if you want to stay in that country. But I would but yeah, in terms of like when you apply for these opportunities, there's also a particular demand that a person could work full time, because obviously if they're investing so much potential in you and so much resources of the company in you, they would want you to stick for a bit longer. But it is not always possible because of you being an international student, which sucks, but it's okay. It's okay. Okay. um that is all that I had for internship and job opportunities for today. And I am so happy to see so much engagement on the YouTube live today. So many people connected and so many questions. Thank you so much for all these questions. And I'm really grateful and happy that I could answer so many questions. If there are any other questions, you can just put it down in the chat. I'll be online for 5 more minutes and would be happy to answer any questions that might come through. Until that time, I would keep yapping about any other thing that could help you in finding a job or an internship opportunity in Australia. Also, subscribe so that you stay tuned to anything new that I'm uploading. And I'm also focusing on uploading. My name is Ratul. Okay, no problem. I am gonna accept you now. I just said. Okay. Um. So just let me know if you guys have any other questions. And another thing that I think, as an international student to another international student, that I would say is that, one second, be ahead in your game. be ahead of everyone else that's around you. Do not be afraid to take your chances. Do not be afraid to do things that might scare you, but they're actually super, super important. And they are the things that are going to help you. And in terms of me as well, as an international student, when I started, I was like super scared of like what things or like what judgments I might bring along in the things that I do, because you have to do like a lot of things that are out of your comfort zone, and killing your comfort zone is the way you can move forward. So if you be, it's a rat race, I won't lie, but like, because there are so many people who are running for the same job, and how are you different? So what makes you different is when you're ahead in your game, when you're ahead of everyone else. It doesn't matter wherever level people are, or like whichever level you think you are, you still have chances to go ahead the next person, and it's a rat race. We grow when we uplift each other, but at the same time, do not just be a giver. For me, when I started uni, I applied to the top roles as my first year in my first year. So one of the things that I did was, soon after my first semester, there were like these international student department elections, and I saw there were like third years who were competing against each other, and I was like, how about I give you a fresh perspective with being a first year? And I did win that elections. So I'm just saying that you have to be really ahead of everyone else, because that was my in my first year, my priority was just to be in the community in ANU, so that people know me, be in the groups, be in societies, be in clubs, be in departments, do everything I could. But my second year priority changed to all things career, because that would be someone's priority in the third year, and being in clubs in exec positions would be someone's priority in the second year. So you have to be ahead in the game if you want to achieve things faster and be the first person to grab them. So you're just like cutting down your competition by being ahead in the game, because they are reaching the stage which you have already cleared. So very important tip, something that always works out for me: think 10 steps ahead of the person who is, in the same zone as you, and that's how you win. And also, play to win. That play to, just like when you are in the game, like not in the game in terms like real game, but like actually in life, you are doing things so that you playing to win, in the sense like you're not competing against everyone, you're just competing with yourself. So you are just striving to be the better version of yourself every time, and that's how you're playing to win. So no matter if you lose or if you win, you're still winning, because what you wanted was to be better than what you previously was. Whereas when you are playing to lose, playing to not win, you're actually losing, because you're competing with other people. You just want to be better than other people, but you don't want to be yourself. And that's where you lose, because you lose your X factor, you lose what makes you special, you lose your authenticity there. So if you are someone who wants to do things that um, are away or are different, play to not play to win, not to not lose, because that's what is really, really important. And do not be afraid to take decisions that normal people won't take, or your friends won't take. There might be so many situations when you feel like, oh, I'm so lonely, I have no friends, or things like that. But that's okay, until and unless you're sitting, having fun, enjoying your company, enjoying the company of people that are actually supportive, are actually there for you, you're fine. You don't need anything in your life. Okay. um any other question before we wrap up? Okay, I'm gonna take some last questions. Any other question about internship and job opportunities, please put them in the live chat. I am live for another 2-3 minutes, and I'll be answering them then. And then I'll see you all on Monday next week at 6 p.m. Honestly, it gets super tiring because I just get back from my internship, and then I have the show, and sometimes I'm like so tired, but I'm doing it. Yay, we're striving and thriving. Um, I'm ending my this internship this Wednesday. But I've started a new internship, which is in terms of mental health. very related to my field. My first day was last Saturday, which was good. And you see me stumbling with my words because of 8 hours of work that I've done. So that's why my words are like jumbled right now. Okay. Thank you to everyone who joined in the live today and everyone who was on Varuni. Thank you so much for the support. And I would end the live session now. If there would be any other questions, my Instagram is dishataneja3184 and the LinkedIn is under Dishataneja. So please reach out in cases of any questions. Thank you, and I'll see you all next week. Ta-da! Thank you so much for joining. Bye bye.